Some unsettled weather ahead, but we've got some good news by the first part of next week with lower humidity, lower temperatures, and some dry, less stormy weather. But we have some unsettled weather to get through first. A cold front will be dropping in from the north and west. It's not so far away this afternoon, draped across portions of Kentucky and Tennessee. This front is helping to steer Hurricane Erin out in the western Atlantic away from the east coast, so that's some good news. And behind this front, eventually, we will tap into some substantially cooler air relative to averages for late August. Not cold, but certainly much cooler than we've been seeing in recent weeks, to the tune of highs in the low 80s. And morning lows will be dropping into the upper 50s in the mountains, down into the low 60s for metro Atlanta. We have pretty high confidence that we're going to see these types of temperatures coming up for the first part of next week. Until then, it stays relatively stormy. We'll get you to tomorrow, the first of 3 first alert weather days. It is dry to start the day, but like we saw yesterday, we could see some storms flare up around 3 or 4 o'clock in metro Atlanta, which of course will be quite impactful to the commute. We're going to continue to see these showers and storms linger just a bit through Thursday night. Thankfully, Hurricane Erin will be turned away from the U.S. East Coast by tomorrow morning. It will begin its acceleration into the northern Atlantic through this upcoming weekend. Back to the 7-day forecast. Storm chances will continue through Sunday. Behind that front Sunday, though, we do see much drier weather, calmer weather, and highs dropping into the lower 80s by next Tuesday.
All right, Isaac.